All right, so Thursday is obviously a big day. You guys will travel down this week. What's it like, this time of year when, we've been practicing, we've been hitting, we've been fielding, we've been pitching, to know that you're actually going to have an opponent to play?
Well, I'm sure everyone knows this. January is always the hardest month. And this season, we are just full head of steam. Our first tournaments are some of the hardest we'll play, some of the hardest teams we'll play all season. So it's super exciting to know what we're building up towards and what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, I think we're definitely just really anticipating playing a different color. I think I've been saying for like 2 weeks, I'm so happy that I now no longer have to throw to my own teammates anymore, ever again, which is great. It's just really nice to know that we're going to go play someone else and just do something different.
Do you feel like this team is a nice mix of veterans like you guys, but you've got an infusion of youth too that are going to have to play a big part?
Absolutely. I mean, we have, I always say this, like 10 people who it's our last year maybe, and 6 or 7 newcomers with transfers included. So having that mix of just knowing what the culture is and being able to welcome people into it has been so much fun. We haven't had a lot of new people in the past, so to have such a big group now has been amazing.
Valerie, last year, Player of the Year, expectations coming in this year. What have you done to kind of keep a level head where the expectations are concerned going into this season?
The thing for me this year is I've kind of already done everything that I wanted to do individually. So it's not that I don't want to do those things again, but I don't really care. It's way more team focused. Not that the past years weren't, but it's just really focused on us taking that next step. But also this is year 5. This year was never supposed to happen. So expectations, I don't really care. It's just kind of all about just playing with my teammates and really just enjoying this last year and just experiencing whatever this year has for us.
What did you guys take away from the Super Regional against Oklahoma?
So much. Took away so much from that. Just we've had heartbreak 2 years in a row, and so now that it is our last year, we're we don't want to end in heartbreak. We want to end with smiles on our face, head up high. And so from that, it was what did we lose in that game? And it wasn't softball. It was just it was a tough team. It was just heartbreak. And so going into this year, it's just we're just gonna have fun, no matter what it is, no matter who we're playing, no matter if it's errors that we're struggling with. If we're just not into it that day, we're gonna bring ourselves together and just say, hey, this year we're just gonna have fun, all smiles on our faces.
In a situation like that, I was kind of watching you at the end of that game. When you play at that level, does it give you a realization the little things always matter?
Yes, absolutely. I actually took a trip over break to American Samoa to run camps, and so even stuff like that, just giving back to people who don't really have a lot or don't know a lot about softball, it really takes your mind off of huge games like that, and it's just we're playing backyards ball, so gotta take it one step at a time.
How long were you in American Samoa?
I was there for a week. Yep.
What was that like for you?
It was insane. It was my first time there. I got to meet a lot of family that I had never met before, but my dad always tells me about them. So it was great just getting to learn about my culture and meet a lot of people and see a lot of new things.
What is the key for you guys to finally break through and make it to the World Series this season?
Like I said before, keeping smiles on our faces. I feel like a lot of the times in the past when we get down, we get way down. So softball is a roller coaster, but making sure we're getting up as high as we can and kind of keeping it consistently up there.
Valerie, what's one of the messages you've given to kind of the younger players coming in and how you've tried to be a leader for this team?
I think so much of it is we've just realized that we didn't just get here yesterday, and it feels like we just got here yesterday and it's already 5 years. And so, there's a lot of things that are going to happen and you're going to have ups and downs, but it's just really about, surrounding, yourself with the people that are here with you and just really experiencing whatever, the game kind of throws at you.
Valerie, what are the emotions like? I know you clearly didn't want to give up a bunch of runs there, but to see your teammates' success and then, for you to come back in the last inning and have success for yourself. I know this isn't the biggest game you guys have played, but it was, it was kind of surprising there.
KJ made the joke in our huddle yesterday that last year I gave up 10 runs in 1 inning in the purple and orange scrimmage and then went on to win Player of the Year. So, again, we see our hitters all the time, they see us all the time, and it's not necessarily, it's great for them to jump on pitches that I miss, and it's great for me to jump on pitches that our other pitchers miss. So it's kind of just that it is what it is. And it always feels good when, I give up 7 runs to go ahead and just, give my team a couple back.
Valerie, so you don't really care about outside expectations when Softball America releases a list of the top players in America and you're number 1. This Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely means something to me. Like the preseason stuff, I always have to kind of just, put into perspective of it doesn't mean anything for the outcome. Like I haven't won anything yet, but the recognition is fantastic. And even just for the program itself, just where we've come from, being year 5 and already having a player who's, whether it be me or anyone else, already having a player, and 2 players on that list is incredible. So it definitely means something. It's not, I don't put my worth into what those awards are.
And obviously, again, your 5th year. I mean, do you start thinking about legacy and kind of like what you want this season to be and what it would mean for you?
I mean, yeah, I definitely think that, legacy's kind of been the whole thing our entire careers here. But again, it's just not putting too much pressure on what we got to, what we want to do and just kind of just letting it happen. Because if you're trying to force something, then it's going to make it a lot harder for it to happen.
So I guess how do you maintain that perspective? Like how do you not allow that to become too big of a thing?
It definitely, you have days where it's harder than others, but again, just relying on people around you, knowing that you're not in this alone, you have a whole group of people with you, and if you have a bad day, then they're going to pick you up, and if, they have a bad day, it's my job to pick them up.
As somebody who's really good, you don't have to change much. But did you come into the season saying maybe a tweak here or there or something that I want to get better at or improve on?
I mean, there's always things you want to get better on and improve at. For me, it was really nice this year because in the past 3 of my 4 years, I've been doing rehabs coming back in the fall, and so I haven't been able to spend as much time with KJ in the bullpen, and the other year was COVID, so that also made it hard. So this year I had the whole fall just to do bullpens, and so just focus on some little, things, try and fine-tune some things, work on different pitches, so that was really nice to have.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
Alex coming over from North Carolina and Lindsay from Auburn. I guess what have they added to your team? You feel like?
So it was funny today, Alex said, I don't think we've had this many fans at any UNC game. So it was just cool having those different perspectives. Lindsay has also obviously played here the past 2 years just with Auburn. And so they give great perspectives when the team is maybe struggling at practice or having a bad day. They're like, hey, I've been through this before in our other programs, or maybe it's something similar that they know what to bring that day to help the team here kind of get out of those situations.
Was it kind of weird with Lindsay, like having played against her all these times?
Not at all. We love it.
I know we were both there for the dinner that she came on a visit, and it was so much fun. And we were like, "Yep, like, do you want to come here? Like, we'll welcome you with open arms." Like, she just fits in really well. They both do.
I guess in what ways? I guess why do you love it so much? What is it about her as a person or as a player?
Lindsay she has such an outgoing personality, and Alex is kind of the opposite. So it's cool to just see them together. They're roommates. So seeing Lindsay being so loud and outgoing, and then Alex is just like so quiet, like a little mouse. Just having those 2 personalities join the team, it's just so fun to watch and see them interact, and then see our freshmen also getting to know them too.
Are there any freshmen that you feel like you're gonna stand out or surprise us?
I think, honestly, all of them have a chance
Yeah.
to do something this year. It's just going to kind of depend on, they're going to have their days, and, we're just going to kind of see how the lineup rolls out and what the coach decides to do. But I think all of them have really come in this fall and just really raised the expectation for freshmen coming in the future. They've done really, really well.
Our coaches definitely have a really hard job this year,
Yes.
making our lineup.
You spoke about the impact when you went to Samoa, and with you guys just being a few years old as a program, what's it like to have all these young girls come here and so and so is my favorite player, and they're screaming go Tide, they're sliding down the hill, on the posters and all that, which hopefully they take one to actually keep as well. But what is it like to have that impact on the younger generation coming up?
Yeah, I remember when I was that little girl going to softball games and wanting everyone's signatures, and now whenever I come up here, I'm like, I remember being with my sisters wanting to get everyone's autographs, and back when I was younger, it was like Kaylani Rick. It's like whenever I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. So seeing how like it's just the same now, and we're kind of those players for people, it's just such a huge honor. They're kind of peeking through the window right now. So just stuff like that is so much fun to see, and I hope the game of softball just continues to grow and we continue to inspire.
That's cute.
Any other questions for Alia? You guys ready?